this research that I do is inspired by my personal experience. I've lived the Transborder lifestyle most of my life, almost my whole life. And you know, as I started to learn more about education and I started to get deeper into student affairs, I realized there was a lack of research, a lack of practice on the student population, which is why I study it, and with the hopes of creating program services focused on the student population. So I'm going to present to you, like I said, the study that I did, but for the half of the session, we're going to hear the stories of our panelists and their experiences. So our panelists, they're current community college students and former community college students. And and for the former community college students, they're going to illustrate their experiences through trajectory. So they're going to reflect back on their experiences and share with you how that was like. So if you don't mind just sharing, and we're going to hear a little bit more from them, but if you don't mind just sharing your name, the college you attended, and either if you're still in school, what you're working on, and if you already graduated, what your position is.
My name is José Gonzalez. I'm no longer a community college student. I was went to Southwestern College in 2007, 2008. I transferred to the Art Institute, and I'm currently an artist, and I work for a nonprofit in City Heights.
Hi everyone, my name is Pedro Cota. I'm a former community college student from Southwestern College. I attend my BA in film from UC Berkeley, and I'm currently a manager at a health plan, local health plan in San Diego, and I'm a part-time film and photography professor in Tijuana.
Hello, my name is Saron Quetzal-Diaz, and I'm currently studying at Southwestern Community College. I'm working on my mechanical engineering major, and I am about to finish my computer-aided design associates. Right now I'm working as a junior mechanic in the maintenance department of manufacturing plant in Chula Vista. We mostly focus on organic products.
Hello, my name is Luis Leal. I transferred last year from Santa Barbara City College, transferred to San Diego State. My major is philosophy, and I'm also an Aspect Fellow.
Hello everyone, my name is Edgar. I graduated from Salvation Community College as well in 2010, and I'm a current master's student in the Student Affairs program here at San Diego State, and I work here at the university as well.
So I think the most important part of this session is their experiences. But before we transition to their experiences, I want to share just a little bit with you what is this transborder phenomena, how does it look like for students, and particularly how does it look like for transborder male students. First of all, it is noteworthy to point out that our border here in the San Diego-Tijuana border region, this is the most frequently crossed border in the world. So transborder interactions are most prevalent here than anywhere else. So that's one thing to take away. Another thing is that borders around the world are different, and they are unique to the region itself. So the type of border influences the type of interactions that people have, the type of experiences that they have, and both nations as well. So a transborder phenomena here is not going to look the same as a transporter phenomena, let's say in Europe, or even a transporter phenomena in Canada and the United States. It's going to be unique to this region. That said, it's also the study fills a paucity of research in community college, transborder studies, higher education. In community college, there hasn't been any studies yet that have looked at the experiences of transborder students. Higher education, this is beginning to be explored. And in transporter studies, particularly anthropology, sociology, you see this topic, but not so much within the higher education context. So this particular research fills in those pockets, those gaps. However, it is noteworthy to mention that this is a qualitative study. I interviewed so they are the panelists, not from this study, different students. But for this study, I interviewed 4 students, qualitative, and those are, what I'm going to present to you are their experiences only. It cannot be generalized. And also, Transborder students are a heterogeneous group. So yes, they cross the border frequently, which is very significant to their identity. However, it varies. Some students begin crossing the border at a very young age. Others start crossing the border and having transport interactions in college. Some cross every day, others once a week through different means. However, although they cross the border differently and engage in these interactions at different stages of their life, there are certain experiences that are nonetheless salient for them. And particularly for this study, it was exploratory. I interviewed 4 students, and what I wanted to see was what were the salient experiences for these participants, specifically related to their being male, crossing the border, and being community college students. So what was most salient to them? And so that was the purpose of the study, to explore their on-campus and their off-campus experiences. So on-campus and off-campus, which guided the research question. So again, I interviewed 4 students. They were ages 25 to 32, and this was trajectory, meaning that they lived a transporter lifestyle in the past, and when we did the study, we reflected on those experiences. When reflecting on the experiences, and even though they lived a transporter lifestyle in the past, still at the time of the interview and this time of their lives, this was just last year, they were still living a transporter lifestyle. They did cross daily. All of them were U.S. citizens, and the 3 students transferred onto a 4-year institute, and 1 student did not transfer onto a 4-year institute or received an associate's. So this 1 student only attended the community college for about 3 years, but did not graduate or receive an associate's. In regards to their experiences, the salient experiences that they all shared were 4 different ones. So they talked about their identities in similar ways. They also talked about their on-campus experiences. Really, unfortunately, a lot of stigma, racism, lack of understanding experienced by professors, student affairs professionals. And then the challenges that influence their academic capabilities. So lack of time. Crossing the border is very challenging. So remember how I mentioned that the elements of this border are unique, being that our border here is an interdependent border, meaning that it's highly policed and militarized, yet it is kept open, mostly to keep political agendas from both nations. However, at the same time, people are highly policed. So how that looks like for individuals is that wait time is very, very long. You cross the border, and unfortunately, you are not who you say you are. You are questioned. So that right there creates a hostile environment. So that's right. So for students, really influence lack of time, fatigue, because of the long border wait time. And another challenge that they experienced was what I call profiled by authorities targeted by drug lords. And students experience harassment by U.S. Customs agents, harassment by Mexican police as well, because remember there are both nations, and targeted by drug lords. So, and I will go into the quotes from the students to illustrate these concepts a little bit more. However, due to time, I won't be able to illustrate all of these themes, just a few. So, the elements of a transporter identity was illustrated